One Zambia, one nation. It is 18 hours on TV2. Time now for the news. My name is Joyce Yatobi. We start by taking a look at stories making headlines. Government has invested over $860,000 to link the university teaching hospital to the rest of the hospitals across the country using teleradiology system. The national measles and rubella vaccination exercise has closed across the country. Coming up in sports, the handball under-20 girls team has qualified to the semi-finals of the ongoing International Handball Federation Zone 6 trophy in Johannesburg, South Africa. And now the news in detail. Government has invested over $860,000 to link the University Teaching Hospital UTH to the rest of the hospitals across the country using teleradiology system. The hospitals that will be connected to UTH in the first phase are Levi Mwanawasa, Livingstone, Ndola Central, Kitwe Central, Mansa, Kasama and Chipata General Hospitals and the Cancer Diseases Hospital in Lusaka. We have more in this report.
There is no doubt that this new equipment that has been installed at the University Teaching Hospital UTH will definitely help at improving health service delivery to the public. Government has invested over $860,000 in networking UTH to the rest of the hospitals countrywide using teleradiology system. A Zimbabwean company, Bain's Image Group, has since been contracted to connect 9 health facilities to UTH in the first phase of the project. This means that any diagnosis and laboratory tests are carried out of Lusaka will with immediate effect reflect at the command center at UTH for immediate attention. Dr. Veronica Sunkutusichizia is head of radiology and consultant at UTH.
Usually you find that the vessel is like that, that's the diameter. Sometimes you find that due to some problem, pathology in the body, you find that a vessel or there is an obstructive lesion or there is an obstructive object within the lumen that can obstruct the flow of this blood in this vessel.
And Health Minister Dr. Chitaluchilufya, who inspected the modern equipment that have been installed, says government will continue to invest more in digitalizing of the health facilities.
In order to leverage the human resource that we have, in order to optimize the expertise that we have at University Teaching Hospital, so that it can ripple through other provinces, we need to network through teleradiology.
Among the equipment installed are ultrasound, digital chest X-ray, CT scan X-ray, whole body imaging and plain film X-ray machines. Meanwhile, Dr. Chilufya further explains the benefits that the improvements will bring to the public.
Telemedicine will help us connect the vulnerable patient in the remote parts of this country to the specialist services that are just domiciled in a central area.
And UTH head pathology and microbiology, Hama Kwamantina, has praised government for modernizing the laboratories at the institution.
Cells will actually support the operation of the PPEX cells, but it will also contribute to the operation of the standard cells, because as you know, most of our tests are not paid. But somebody has to buy the rate, somebody has to pay for the service.
Meanwhile, Dr. Chilufya has given UTH management a 7-day ultimatum to clear floor beds at the institution, which he says poses health risk to the public.
So my focus, there will be a special focus on UTH to restore public confidence, to ensure that the long queues, the long waiting times, the floor beds, the bad attitude from staff, all these become confined to the past.
In line with the mandate bestowed upon him by President Edgar Lungu as full cabinet minister, Dr. Chilufya is determined to perform to the expectation of the appointing authority and the people of Zambia who have been yearning for improved health care. Robert Mwanza, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
The national measles and rubella vaccination exercise has closed across the country. The exercise started on Monday, September 19th, 2016, was characterized with a high turnout of mothers taking their children for vaccination. And in Lusaka province, 1.4 million children were targeted for the vaccination exercise. Earlier, before the close of the campaign, Lusaka province medical officer Kennedy Malama told TV2 News that the province has received overwhelming response from parents with a high number of children being vaccinated.
The measles rubella vaccination shall be included in our normal immunization schedule. And in the near future, we are going to be immunizing children at 9 months, that combined vaccine, and also at 18 months. Those who may be missed today, they should not panic, because even before the end of the year, there will be an opportunity to have that vaccine. But as you know, you can't tell what may happen between now and the next year. For now, as government, we've targeted the most vulnerable population or group, which is 9 months to the age of 15. Because when we look at the disease pattern, this is the group which gets the worst burden of disease.
Now, founder of the Sondashi herbal formula, Ludwig Sondashi, is happy that finally clinical trials on the Sondashi SF2000 have started. Mr. Sondashi is hopeful that once clinical trials are concluded, it will help many Zambians. Mr. Sondashi says more money is needed to successfully conduct the clinical trials on the formula allegedly to be the cure for HIV and AIDS. Dr. Sondashi says the National Science and Technology Council is yet to release at least 200,000 kwacha towards the clinical trials.
Quite happy that the government has started the clinical trials. Expressing happiness, I would like to say that you ought to know that although they've started these clinical trials, it's due to my effort actually, because I had to go to the bank to get a loan. I want to mention how much money which I got. To get a loan, I can mention maybe of 500,000 kwacha to give, which I gave to government, which is the NISR, which they gave it to TDRC to carry out clinical trials. Now, this government has fallen short. It's not enough. For them to complete the clinical trials, they need the 200 kwacha, which is still pending with the National Science and Technology Council, which they are holding is 200,000 kwacha.
Still on health issues, a team of US-based and Zambian doctors are expected in Mambilima District, Luapula Province, to conduct surgeries on over 250 disabled children. Care and Hope for All Programs Manager Chanda Nonde says doctors will start screening the children on Monday, September 26, 2016. Mr. Nonde says the children to be attended to are those with clapped foot and cleft lip and palate with facial deformity. He says his organization has taken its services closer to the people because it is costly to transport them to Lusaka for such services. In other news, the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has bought 269,419 metric tons of maize as at September 22nd, 2016. FRA Executive Director Chola Kafwabulula says the highest purchase amounted to 55,000 metric tons from Luapula Province, while the lowest was 3,000 metric tons from Eastern Province. Mr. Kafwabulula further says the latest purchase of maize is valued at 458 million kwacha, of which 73 million kwacha has already been paid to farmers. He told ZNBC in a telephone interview that the total quantity of maize purchased stands at 27% against the total target of 1 million metric tons for the 2016 maize marketing season. Mr. Kafwabulula explained that the maize buying process was slow and attributed this to the 85 kwacha FRA maize floor price, which he said is lower than the price offered by private traders. He also said FRA has continued selling maize to milling companies companies from the carryover stock. Thank you for staying with us on TV2 News at 18 hours. We go for a break, but still to come, Freedom Clinic in Chilanga on the verge of being closed because it has no source of water, and Choma, the provincial headquarters of Southern Province, to have a 5-star hotel soon. These and more stories coming up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. A Zambian company is to invest $3 million in the development of a 5-star hotel in Choma, Southern Province. Oasis Hotels and Spa plans to develop the over 250-bed capacity hotel, which will initially create more than 200 jobs. Oasis Hotels and Spa manager Iris Kaingu says the hotel will be constructed in 4 phases. Ms. Kaingu says the need for a 5-star hotel was necessitated by the demand in the hospitality industry since Choma was declared a provincial capital. She was speaking in an interview with TV2 News.
In 4 phases. The phase that's right behind me will be phase 1, and then that way will be phases 2, 3, and 4. Currently, in this phase, we hope to be done by about March of 2017, and it will bring a lot of benefit to the people of Choma. When we're done with all the 4 phases, we hope to be employing over 200 people on a full-time basis. So not only is this a large benefit for the people of Choma, but for us as well, because we'll host one of the largest hotels in the Southern Province. Right now, this investment already, we're looking at something like $3 million.
The Bus and Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia has welcomed the proposed ban of public service vehicles from moving at night. Association Lusaka Province Chairman John Chabala says the move will help in reducing the number of road traffic accidents. He said most drivers get fatigued on the roads. Mr. Chabala has also complained that some sections of Zambian roads are too narrow. He urged the Road Development Agency, RDA, to consider working on roads that are a threat to the safety of motorists and the public. Mr. Chabala was speaking when he appeared on 7 Days Today program.
Those long distances drivers, we normally put 2 drivers, especially like those distances like Lusaka and Konde, especially all those routes like which we move like more than 600 kilometers. There are 2 drivers, so they always exchange. Yeah, we have started the program with RATSA. RATSA have engaged us, and the relationship is very conducive. Yes, in terms of monitoring our drivers every time when they're on the road. We have got also the certain program which we are trying to put the CCTVs on in our buses, so that we are able to monitor the jot-up systems, which can be able to monitor our drivers, how they are performing, how they are behaving on the road, how they are driving our vehicles.
A Chinese company has donated security equipment to the University of Zambia Confucius School. China Railways 7th Group made the donation worth 30,000 kwacha as part of celebrations to mark the International Confucius Institute Day, which fell yesterday. Chinese ambassador to Zambia, Yang Yuming, made the donation. Here is a report.
These activities are part of the different cultural exchange programs here at the Confucius Institute. It is the International Confucius Day, and learners are using this occasion to showcase the skills learned here at the Institute. They have this to say.
I've been training since last year in June. Yeah, from the time I started training till now, it's been keeping me physically fit, and it helps us interact and interact with the Chinese people and us as students here.
My Chinese names are Wen Ming. I'm a student at the Confucius Institute. I'm a Chinese student. Well, Chinese language is hectic. As you are aware, in the English language you have 26 characters in the alphabet. In Chinese we have over 8,000. So it's not been easy, but it's manageable. And
Deputy Vice Chancellor Mick Mwala says the University of Zambia, Yunza, is happy to celebrate the existence of the Confucius Institute and is thankful for the support from the Chinese government.
We are therefore here today to also celebrate the existence of our own Confucius Institute at the University of Zambia. Since its foundation, the University of Zambia has been supportive to the development of the Institute as a building and indeed the activities as well as its outreach, which again has been very well articulated in Your Excellency's remarks. We are equally thankful to the support we have received from the Chinese government, let me say from the People's Republic of China and its people, through the Chinese embassy.
Meanwhile, Chinese ambassador to Zambia, Mr. Yang Yumin, says the institute gives an opportunity to Zambian students to learn more about China and its culture.
The University of Zambia has opened 2 classes of Chinese language degree, 3 short-term Chinese language training classes, 2 classes of pre-exam training courses, and 1 martial art class. This year, the Institute has also organized HSK and OICT to offer to Zambian students opportunities to go and study in China. For the past 2 years after my arrival, I've been very pleased to witness the great progress that the Confucius Institute has made in Zambia.
A donation was made to help with affairs of the Institute. With such institutions in place, people will have a chance to learn about divergent culture of other countries. Leandro Hamwala, TV2 News in Lusaka.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, in Lusaka has arrested 3 Tanzanians and 2 Zambian nationals for trafficking in heroin and cocaine. Feruzi Salimu Maulidi, 35, a Tanzanian businessman residing in Kabanana compound in Lusaka, has been arrested and jointly charged with Alec Mwanza, 26, and Isaac Mwale, 25, both of Chazanga compound in Lusaka, for trafficking in 2,773 sachets of heroin and 1 sachet of cocaine. Also charged separately is Abila Abebi, 29, a Tanzanian mechanic of Kabangwe area in Lusaka, for trafficking in heroin powder, granules, and raw opium. DEC Public Relations Officer Mutale Chileshe has confirmed to TV2 News in a statement that the 5 suspects were intercepted in Lusaka's Kabangwe area. The suspects are in police custody and will appear in court soon. After our final break, we bring you the latest international as well as sports news. Keep watching. The news continues. In international news, 4 women have been shot dead and a man critically injured at a shopping center in Burlington, Washington state. Police have released a picture of the suspected gunman who fled the scene armed with a rifle. The Cascade Mall and nearby shops have been evacuated, and police have asked the public to stay away. The motive for the attack is not clear. In sports news, the handball under-20 girls team has qualified to the semi-finals of the ongoing International Handball Federation Zone 6 trophy in Johannesburg, South Africa. The girls beat their bitter rivals Zimbabwe 38-15 to secure a place in the semi-final with a game to spare. Zambia will take on Botswana tomorrow, while host South Africa will take on Zimbabwe, who are out of contention for a place in the semi-finals. And speaking in an interview with TV2's Prince Chiuni after the match, Handball Association of Zambia President Walia Banda praised the girls for qualifying to the semi-final. Banda urged the team and the coaching bench to remain focused and qualify to the final and win the trophy. The handball boys team will also qualify to the semi-finals if they beat their neighbors Zimbabwe later this evening. Still in sports, Football Association of Zambia President Andrew Kamanga says he expects the Chipolo Polo boys to start producing positive results, starting with the Russia 2018 World Cup qualifier against Nigeria on October 9th. Kamanga says with the new coach at hand, players called to camp are expected to rise to the occasion by beating Nigeria at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. And Kamanga has implored players called to camp for the Nigeria match not to be intimidated by so-called big names in the Nigerian team when the two nations lock horns in a few weeks' time. He says just like Nigeria, Zambia also have players that can deliver given the needed motivation. Kamanga has further asked Zambians to continue supporting and believing in the Chipolo Polo boys if they are to make it to Russia 2018. He was speaking after watching the women's national football team beat their Egyptian counterparts 1-0 in an international friendly match played at Sunset Stadium yesterday. And as we end the news, we take another look at the top stories. Government has invested over $860,000 to link the university teaching hospital to the rest of the hospitals across the country using teleradiology system. The hospitals that will be connected to UTH in the first phase are Levi Mwanawasa, Livingston, Ndola Central, Kitwe Central, Mansa, Kasama and Chipata General Hospitals and the Cancer Diseases Hospital in Lusaka. The national measles and rubella vaccination exercise has closed across the country. The exercise, which started on Monday, September 19th, 2016, was characterized with a high turnout of mothers taking their children for vaccination. And finally, the handball under-20 girls team has qualified to the semi-finals of the ongoing International Handball Federation Zone 6 trophy in Johannesburg, South Africa. The girls beat their bitter rivals Zimbabwe 38-15 to secure a place in the semi-final with a game to spare. And that will do for the news at 18 hours. Thank you so much for your time. Our next news update will be another detailed bulletin at 20 hours later tonight. My name is Joy Siatubi. Stay blessed.